I'm the youngest of 7 girls that my mom single-handedly raised. And of course, I was always spoiled by my sisters and my mom. But my dad was not so good. We lived in a small town, and he was a severe alcoholic. He was a kleptomaniac. He would steal anything, you know. When I was 12 years old, my dad happened to be home from jail at that time. And I came in from school, I wasn't feeling good, and I went and laid on my bed. My dad came in and started touching me inappropriately. And I was so shocked, I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't do anything. So I ended up just jumping up and going back to school, and I was carrying all that shame and the weight of the guilt, and I held on to all that stuff, never told anybody, and didn't know it was destroying me in the process. I met my ex-husband when I was 14, and I was the only child left at home, and talked my mom into letting me get married when I turned 15. I had my daughter a month after I was 16. We were happy for a long time, and then he took a job on the road truck driving and was never home. That's when all my loneliness and everything set in, you know, and it wasn't long we discovered the party scene, my husband and I together. And we'd go out on the weekends, you know, but then it started when he was on the road, I started going out by myself. And I also started dabbling in cocaine, powder cocaine. I was already smoking weed from right the time I was 16. Eventually, the loneliness and the partying caught up with me. I felt like I was missing out on my teenage years because I didn't have a teenage life. And then I had my son, which it slowed me down a little bit, but it wasn't enough to make me stop. So I kept on doing this party scene and dabbling in the drugs. And when my son turned 7 and my daughter was like 14, I left. I divorced my husband because I didn't want to put them through what I was going through. I've been to jail several times. I've been to 3 different rehabs. But I always went back to the drugs and the people and the places and the things. In 2020, I went on recovery court because I had some drug charges. And my mom had just passed away, and one of my sisters had just passed away. And I thought, I've got to get my life together. I miss my mom so bad because she was always my hero. She prayed for me more than anybody ever prayed for me. So I went on recovery court and went to Memphis Recovery, and I think it was October of 2020 till March of 21. I stayed 4.5 months. I came out and went in a halfway house. It was the worst time in my life of the drugs. It had such a grip on me, I couldn't stop. They gave me every chance in the world to stop. So they decided they were going to send me to Aspel, long-term down here in Jackson. So I came to Aspel, was there 3 weeks, I guess, and they brought me for an interview over here because there wasn't room at their halfway house. And Mr. Nathan asked me to only maybe 2 questions, and he said, "And you're a master manipulator." And I thought, yeah. And my counselor said, so in other words, she hasn't done anything the time she was at Aspel. I knew everything they wanted to hear. I'd already been to rehab. So he told me if I didn't start talking, that he wouldn't accept me. And I knew I had to be here because of recovery court. So I started talking. And still, it wasn't in my mind to help myself. I wanted to bide my time to get off recovery court. Well, something clicked, you know, and I started going to church, and things just seemed to start falling into place. I graduated recovery court in June of last year, and I'm still here at the care center. Since I've given my life to God, it's made just a huge, huge difference. I no longer carry that shame and guilt. You know, I have a restored relationship with my family. They actually light up when they see me now. Yeah, and it's just an awesome feeling, and I'm hoping, you know, the longer I'm here, the more I might can help somebody else. But God has just been an amazing part of it. And I never would have found this if I hadn't come to the care center. And Nathan helped me so much. He doesn't even realize how much he has helped me. He calls me a walking miracle.